guys, today I want to talk to you about Cubism. Cubism was a revolutionary art movement. It was a new approach to showing reality, and it was invented around 1907 by artists that you would know, like Pablo Picasso. These artists brought different views of the same subject together in the same picture, which resulted in paintings that looked fragmented or abstracted. The word cubism comes from the reducing of everything to geometric outlines or cubes.
Okay, guys, we are going to be making a Cubism fall tree today. So I'm so excited. We just got to learn a little bit about Cubism, and now we can start our project. So I want to show you how I start this. I would, of course, if I were you, I would start this with a pencil, your drawing, but so you can see it on the video, I'm going to draw it with a Sharpie. Once you're done drawing it with your pencil, I would love for you to go over your pencil lines with a Sharpie, a black marker, a crayon, something, or a black crayon, something dark that will kind of make your lines really bold, so then when you color everything in, they still show up. They still look nice. So what you're going to do is you need some type of straight edge. So I have a ruler, but you can use another piece of paper. You can use the edge of a binder or folder or just anything really that's straight that you can kind of run your pencil along. Okay, so first thing we want to do is we want to go about halfway up our paper and make the trunk of our tree. So I think about halfway up, I'm just going to make a straight line. It doesn't have to be exactly halfway. Right about there is probably good. And I'm just going to try to make a straight line towards the middle of my paper. Then on both edges of that line, I'm going to make that trunk of my tree, because this is the trunk of our tree. We're going to make that go down to the bottom of our paper. And you can see I'm kind of making a diagonal line. I want the trunk of my tree to be a little bit thicker towards the bottom than at the top, just to give it a little more interest. Okay, now it's time to make our tree branches. So what we're going to do is, coming from the corner of that tree trunk, I'm going to make a diagonal line that comes pretty far off the side. And same thing on the other side, a diagonal line that comes pretty far off the side. Then I can make more straight lines coming from my tree trunk off the top of my paper. There is my branches so far. We're going to break up that space in just a minute, but now what I want to do is I want to break up this space down here. So I'm going to make like a horizon line. So a little bit off the bottom of my paper, I'm going to make a straight line that goes behind my tree. And then a little bit more further down from that one, I'm going to make another straight line. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to break up our space up here and our space down here into those kind of cubism fragmented sections. So you're going to stay with your ruler, and you're basically just going to draw straight lines to break up your spaces even more. You can see once I touch one of my other straight lines that I already have on there, I stop. try to make somewhat equal sections, but they definitely don't have to be perfect. You just don't want to have some that are super, super tiny and some that are huge. And I'm continuing to use my ruler because I want these lines to be straight and not like wavy and wonky. That's looking really cool. So now what I need to do is break up my space down here. So this is basically like the ground. Okay, so now we have our main parts. We have our tree, we have our ground. Now it's time for us to add details. I want to add some cute little Cubism animals, and you guys should definitely do the same. Something, it doesn't have to be the same animals as me, but some extra little kind of funky details where you can really tell that this is a Cubism artwork. So I'm going to draw a little cat down here sitting on the ground. Now Cubism is not only like fractured, but it's also geometric shapes rather than like rounded organic shapes, right? So for a little cat, I'm just making like that, right? And then the tail, I'm gonna keep super simple. I think I want a little bird, so I wanna I think what I want to do is like a little triangle for my simplified bird shape. And again, you guys can make the same kind of animals as me, or I would love to see how you can creatively turn some animals into some little Cubism animals. So you can see I've just kind of added a little beak, a little eye, maybe some little like feathery ear things off the top, some simple little legs, and maybe a little tail. Very simple. Now I think I want some leaves falling from my trees, but again, leaves are very organic shapes, but we want to keep them very geometric and that Cubism style. So instead of making like a rounded kind of leaf that kind of goes to a point, I think what I'm going to do instead is make little triangle leaves. They kind of look like little arrows right now, but I think it'll make a little more sense when I color everything in. I think it'll look more like little leaves. How cute! I love it. And then I was thinking, just to kind of make it look more like a tree, I think I'm going to add just little branches and things that are kind of coming down off my tree, but also kind of in my tree as well. Just little kind of branch lines that don't go all the way across. I think this just kind of helps it look a little bit more like a tree, but still sticking with those super simple lines. Okay guys, I think this is looking so cute. I can't wait to add some color to this, because then I think you'll really start to see how cool this looks with all the fragmented shapes. So in my tree, I think I'm going to kind of pick out somewhat fallish colors. I might make them a little funky, but I think I'm going to pick out some different colors because in each shape, I kind of want a different color in each shape. So it kind of looks like a fall tree, but also like a cubism fall tree. And then I'll have different colors of leaves falling down, different colors in my sky, in my ground. And then I think I might do my trunk, my tree trunk, just solid, maybe black or brown, just kind of up to you what you prefer. So I will time lapse this next part so you can see kind of how I color this in. All right, guys, there is my finished Cubism fall tree. I think it's turned out really cool. I love all those bright colors. I decided to color it with markers because I really wanted those colors to be super, super bright. And then you can see in the background back here, I colored it lightly with a blue crayon because I didn't want the background to kind of take away from all these crazy colors I have going on. But you can also see that I made sure to color every single space and it looks really, really, really cool. Make sure to take your time on these and do your very best and fill your entire paper. And I really can't wait to see how yours turn out.